Oh, that's it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I'm just going to keep an eye on this now.
You're going to hold it in your hand or put it down?
No, I'll put it down. I know what I did wrong before. Now, there might be a little tiny... I pressed a little button there where I should have just...
It's not like you. And also, you forgot the equipment today, didn't you? Which is unusual for you.
But it's good for us to try
on your mind.
And do a live broadcast from my smartphone, as I've said. We've got one for 5 seconds now. We've accidentally broadcast. So what I'll do is I'll just do that. That's better.
Proves it's live and real, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Now,
unlike us.
The last time when we did this, I was...
I'm studying that sound level bar. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I was
like a hypnotic thing.
Well, I was about to go for lunch with a gentleman called Ron Shout about the possibility of doing something with the memory gnome becoming the dream gnome chronicles in the United States and a cable.
I won't help you there.
Now, as I said, it seemed odd to me at first that somebody would want to take me to the Ivory for that, because there's not a huge amount of money.
I've only heard about the Ivy.
But the reason, he's two reasons. He's over here anyway, visiting his son, who's at drama school over here at the Guildhall. And there's actually a dish at the Ivy that he wants to try, but it has to be ordered by 2 people. So I had to agree that I would share the main dish with him.
Right.
And that's called, I think it's Devonshire Country Chicken or Devonshire Farm Chicken now.
Right.
And what you do, it's a whole small free-range chicken for 2 people.
Yeah.
It's roasted fresh for you. It takes about 45 minutes.
Uh-huh.
It's stuffed with something I won't mention because it will upset people in Brighton.
You mean the bits of another animal? Not
exactly. And with truffle jus.
What does that mean?
A jus is like a reduction, and it's got truffles in it.
A reduction?
A reduction is jus.
Mm.
Okay.
It's way over my head.
And that was lovely.
Like hamburgers.
And anyway, I don't know if we're still recording or not there. Here we go.
Difficult to know, isn't it?
It is difficult to know. I should just press that and see what happens.
I think it's gone on us.
Let's have I think we... Hang on.
What are you doing now? Oh, it's locked out on the screen. Some phones do this.
No, it's turning over. We're still turning over. We're still doing this, so that's okay.
So I'm really puzzled. We're going to talk about that Ivy in a second. I'm really puzzled. Very unusual for you to forget things, isn't it? Memory gnomes, you see what I'm doing there? You've got the equipment today. What's that all about?
Well, I don't know.
Are you worried about?
No, I'm just rushing around. I had a lot to do this morning. I'm applying for lots of stuff and doing things. Yeah.
I've just rolled out of bed.
So anyway, we'll just keep this up here.
So the chicken. Let's get back to this chicken thing.
Because,
I've had a few organic free-range chickens and definitely can taste the difference. Definitely can taste the difference, and they're delicious. You know, like when I was a kid, I think probably a lot of things when we were kids were organic, weren't they? Mm-hmm. Without being called organic. Yeah, I mean this is free range rather than organic. It's not necessarily the same thing. Oh, I like that Chrisopedia. Chrisopedia 1-0. But it would have been. It's a particular breed. I think it's chosen for taste, and so that's fantastic. What's it like? It's nice. It's full of the usual celebs and. I did get to be insulted by Ricky Gervais briefly when I was there, who knows Ron, because he has a place in New York. You got insulted by him? What happened? I think I was introduced very briefly to him by Ron. Right. Who said, this is somebody I might be working with. I think he might be funnier than you, Ricky. And I think not effing and some other... It was rude but funny. But it was appropriate Ricky Gervais thing to say, because if he didn't say that, he wouldn't be who he is, would he? And just digressing slightly, Ricky, I saw Ricky Gervais in the TV show about that care home. What's it called? Derek. Now, I have not seen it before. I think it's the second series, and I have actually worked in care homes, as you know. So I watched it with a little bit of, apprehension. I think that's a polite word to it. But I must say, I was very, very kind of pleased with what I saw. I'm not up to date with it, but without being laboursome, all praise to them because they were saying things which I knew were to be true. In other words, this episode was covering a C-Sky inspection, which is the inspectorate body that looks after nursing homes, hospitals now, and it was actually very, very on the button. So all power to Ricky and his team for that, because without labouring the point, they got a point across, which I know definitely is true. So well done, chaps. Okay. So I'm also I saw him in a film. What the hell was it? I thought he was ever so good in it. Oh, God, it was a comedy film in the States. The Invention of Lying. The Invention of Lying. So it was very good in that. Is that the same one where he ends up as a dentist?
No, the dentist is Ghost Town.
I thought that was good too.
Yeah.
So again, I've overcome my kind of popular prejudice, and I've actually become a bit of a, I suppose I'm a fan now. So, long conversion, I'm there in the end.
Well, I think he's one of those people that, because he sort of comes across as quite arrogant, he does what he likes.
Good job we're not like that.
No, not at all. So I think people are almost looking forward to his fall from grace, and obviously...
Yeah, that's a very much an English thing, though.
With any person creating any sort of art or culture or entertainment, and if they're doing really...
like us?
Absolutely, doing really what they want when they want, at some point...
Like us?
Yeah, like us. At some point they'll do something that will fail if they're true to an artistic process.
Oh, really?
So yeah, that's inevitable.
I know, we've already done all the failure.
Yeah.
It's out of the way now, isn't it?
I mean, it's interesting stuff. There's a couple of, we're diverging from what anything you said, but this is quite interesting. There's a couple of comedy shows now that most people don't like. One is Mrs. Brown's Boys, if you've seen that.
What's that about?
An Irishman in a dress playing a sort of matriarch of a family.
Oh, I did see that. Is that a man?
Yeah, and the other is Miranda.
Oh, yeah, the tall lady.
Yeah, now a lot of people don't like either of those. Right. Of those, Miranda is the one that's been much lauded and much...
plaudited, whatever. You don't have to keep doing that, because it's it's all right.
Much...
That's just
much praise and whatever, and it's got awards and everything, but surprisingly the one with the biggest audience is Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Now, isn't that a sort of a copy of Bread?
Not really. No, it's more, it has some strange things that go on it. One, they don't hide...
Surreal, you mean? Or?
They don't hide the fact that things go wrong. They kind of keep recording with the bloopers in, if you like. So he'll rush from one bit of the stage to another bit of the set to get a prop that's reminded, tell everybody, then just carry on.
Oh, so they're injecting a bit of live theatre / pantomime.
Yeah.
Really, by deliberately not editing.
Yeah. And he says the F word.
Does that work?
It works. It's a very strange thing. It started in Ireland, and he's done live stage shows with it. The big audiences for live stage shows are in Scotland and the north of England, but not in the south. So they've had a big following for years.
Mm.
So it has a certain people who really love it.
Right.
And a certain audience it really appeals to. I don't find it funny, but then when I think, well, he must be good at what he's doing. It's just not my. I think that's the thing you start to accept as you get older. There's matters of taste.
Mature, Chris.
Just because it's not my taste doesn't mean it's done badly. It just means I don't really get it. So I can't.
You're maturing.
I can't really criticise.
Well, I knew you were a fresh, brash young man, and now look at you. You're actually seeing things from other people's point of view. How do you do that?
Well, there's always matters of taste in art, isn't there? That's the thing about it. So there's hard.
No,
you can tell if somebody looks at the floor, mumbles, and doesn't know their lines. That's bad. But beyond obvious things like that, it's
Well, actually, when somebody's acting badly, or singing badly, or performing badly, I have a very strange response to that. If I'm in an audience, I will sit and I'll look at my feet, and I kind of become. What would that be, like an ostrich, isn't it? But looking at my feet, and I would get embarrassed for the person. I look at my feet, and I can't look at the stage. I can't even laugh if I sound bad. And I feel bad. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for us. And it's a very funny response of mine. I just can't look at them. I can't do it.
Right.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Will that be all right?
Interesting, no. And...
Well, anyway, back to the chicken and the ivy. So, chicken and the ivy.
Yeah, no. But unfortunately, I can't really... we did a little broadcast week explaining what we're doing, and I got a little telling off for that.
By whom?
By Ron, because he wants to keep what he's doing secret. So
all I can... you mean mentioning...
Mentioning what he wants to do with the gnomes and us.
Oh, dear. That was my fault, though, wasn't it? Because I pressed you for...
Well, no, he's okay. He says we haven't given away too much, but just, keep it shut. I think with his words.
And you and I have got to try and keep it shut.
So that's why I'm talking about a chicken and the ivy, because I'm allowed to talk about the meal.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. You're always planning ahead, you see. I live in the moment, you're always thinking ahead. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So what do we talk about now? We're not allowed to talk about
Well, I'm going to do my little provocation I mentioned earlier on you. So this is again back to the acting now. Mr. Scales, when you say you're in the moment, would you say you're being absolutely true to what would be happening if that was happening in real life?
We talk about acting?
Yes.
Repeat that.
When you say you're in the moment and you're being truthful in acting terms, do you believe you're being absolutely truthful to if that situation was happening in real life?
No, because with acting there is rehearsal and prep and practice before.
But aside from that, when you actually perform, would you say?
No, I think it's a mixture. I think it's a apparent contradiction. So I think there are things running in parallel. For example, going on to stage and character, there is a part of the mindset, the brain. I've told you, well, I've mentioned to you before, and I know I've got an improvisation switch in my brain. So when I go into improv scene, doing live improv, the switch goes on, and then engage certain skills and memories, mostly of what not to do. Acting-wise, something very similar happens, but it is different because got to remember everything we learnt in rehearsals. There is a kind of a credo, I think, with musicians, isn't there, where they practice so much that they find it impossible not to remember. And I'm very similar with lines and stuff. I will overdo my lines at home, so I find it virtually impossible. Now, as you know, sometimes weird things do happen, and you do have funny dry and odd things do happen. But I think that it's possible for two things to be true at the same time. Seriously, folks, i.e., yes, in the moment, and yes, all the prep that has gone before, all the practice is wired in there. And there's a third thing going on as well, which is little Mr. Trevor actor up there watching what's going on, pulling levers and watching out for stuff that's going on. You kind of avoided a triumvirate. You've avoided my trap. I haven't avoided. I've given a beautiful. You've avoided my trap, Trevor. I've given a beautiful explanation in some considerable detail, and it is in very practical answer. What I was going to say, if you said you were absolutely truthful, I was going to say, I'm not that stupid. You're going to be a smart ass. No one likes smart ass. Do people in real life make their own sound effects? Actually, they do, because I do. I do sound effects all the time. But in fact, you've actually... They have a real drill, not a sound effect. No. You're again, you see, I'm you're outgunned and outclassed here again. I'm on a roll. I do my own sound effects in life as well. Okay. So, both ways I win. Well, let's have a... It's not about winning, is it? Oh, no, sorry, it is, yeah. I forgot. It's about winning. Well, that's, I think, I'm going to have the last word now, maybe. 17:45. No, it's 12. Oh, 12, yeah. Left. 12, okay, 19, so we'll stop the broadcast there, and this will now be on Twitter and on my Facebook. Oh, well, and also, no, before you do that, big thanks to our special sound effects man called Ben. Brilliant work, labouring, fantastic hard work. Do listen, games to the GNOME broadcast, and listen to those sound effects. Absolutely fantastic. He's brilliant. Okay, thanks, Ben.